You are smart. Hello, Tony. Welcome to Tangerine. Joe's still on his Japan shit.
Switch edition.
Yeah, one of the big ages ago I made a list of all the Japanese games I wanted to try out. One of the ones on the top of my list, Katamari Damacy. I've been wanting to try this game for the longest time because it looks so fucking fun. And it is such like I wouldn't say it's like a super well-known in terms of like everyone knows about it, but it's like it's almost got like a cult following, like, you know,
I've definitely heard of it before.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never seen anyone play it.
But it is such a strange game, and my immediate thoughts of playing the game were, again, the soundtrack's a fucking banger. I love the soundtrack. Like, you have like most people will know the song like Katamari Damacy. La 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 la. Yeah,
I think that's the main theme.
Yeah, that's like the main thing. But you also have like, you know, great tracks like this, or one of my favorites, which is just literally a guy going, "You are smart." There's just random tracks like that. But here you can see like the way the game works is you have a ball, and you have to roll over objects to increase the size of your ball. And once your ball gets bigger, you can roll over bigger things. Because if you try and roll over something that's too big for you, you won't be able to pick it up. And not only that, if you try and roll over something that's too big, it can actually do damage to you or like knock stuff off your ball, so you can actually get smaller. So you have to be quite careful with how you control and choose like target selection. So you can see here, Tony, I'm about 5 centimeters at the moment. My target is 20 centimeters. And I want to show you this because I have footage of the start of the game and like towards the end of the game, and you get to see like the progression of how big your Katamari becomes.
Well, I just thought it was some Lego you went past.
Legally distinct Lego, I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
Somebody's watching a TV with a live footage of me on it. One of my first things I noticed, so I'm trying to get to 20 centimeters, and I have to get there in the time limit. So you can see up there I have 6 minutes in order to do that, and the time changes based on, you know, how big you have to get and what you have to pick up.
Yeah.
And the game will give you a visual notification when you get bigger, and if you pause the game, it'll be like, you are currently as big as a cassette tape or like a ant or whatever, how big you are. So you can
size comparison.
Yeah,
that's nice.
But you kind of start to figure it out, like, because eventually I'm like, oh, I'm probably big enough to pick up a rat. Oh, I'm probably big enough to pick up a dog now. I'm probably big enough to pick up a human now. Like, you start to see like objects, and you're like, oh, I'm probably big enough for this object now. I fucking love this game. My only thing about this game is the controls are insane for a modern gamer. Like, the way you control the ball is so confusing if you've never played Katamari Damacy before. It is so fucking confusing. So there is classic controls and there's modern controls, but even the modern controls are still like not the easiest to get along with. So you're essentially doing one to go forwards and backwards on an analog stick, and then using another analog stick to move around the ball. So you're not like directly moving the ball left and right. I'm moving around the ball, and then to turn in directions, I'm pushing like up and down. It's really hard to explain how I'm moving in this.
Yeah,
but
I'm just trying to think how that would work. I have to see it. I think
there is like mechanics you can do. Like, there is something called quick turning. So I was playing on, because you can play this on mouse and keyboard. I would not play this on mouse and keyboard. This is because this was I think it was a GameCube game, if I'm not mistaken. Because this game was designed before there was like a standard of how analog stick games should control, and it's definitely unique, is a word to say. Like, you do eventually get used to it, but it definitely doesn't control how you think a twin stick game should control, you know?
Right. Is that kind of a part of the fun though? Because it's kind of difficult, or is it never meant to be difficult? It's just weird.
I think the difficulty comes from like the time limit and the idea that you have to find certain props to get bigger.
Right, okay. So they streamlined this like in a re-release or something. It would still be challenging. Okay.
I kind of wish there was a mode like I know there is a mode that you can unlock after you complete the game to just go around with unlimited time, but I do wish there was more of like a free play mode just off the bat because it's very much like
non-story.
I think there was only a couple of levels I failed more than like once or twice, but I would have preferred a more relaxed experience of being like, okay, don't worry about the time.
Yeah.
Oh, let me explain the story of Katamari Damacy because there is actually a weird story going on.
There's deep lore.
In between every level, so you are an alien, and you've come to Earth, and all the stars are missing. So every level is followed by this weird like block anime family, like Japanese family, and they're speaking to each other in Japanese. It's dubbed in English, and they're basically saying, "Look at the sky, all the stars are gone." So you're basically rebuilding the stars out of objects and people. And after every level, you send them shooting off into the sky. So as you can see here, I had a pop-up there. When you build your Katamari big enough, you've completed the level. But the game lets you keep playing with the time you have left in order to see how big you could get your Katamari for like bonus points, basically. Which is cool. It's like going back to that more old school idea of, yeah, you completed the level, but why don't you try and get more points for fun? Which, you know, I talked about. That's not like a big thing in modern games, but that was very big in more classic games, is just doing things for fun or points rather than, you know, to achieve a certain objective more so.
Yeah.
So there is a quick turn, and the reason I'm not using the quick turn is because I'm using modern controls, and I could not get the quick turn to work. I literally sat and I spent like hours trying to get quick turn to work on modern controls, and it just wouldn't work at all. I feel like it might be bugged because when I did it on the keyboard, quick turn would work, but only when I registered the keyboard. So to quick turn, I would have to press buttons on the keyboard to get it go, oh, you're playing on the keyboard, and then I could quick turn with the keyboard, but it never worked on my controller. And I could get it to work with the old controls sometimes, but sometimes I have to spam the button to get it to register. Which is kind of annoying. I do wish there was more of a modern controls where it was like, okay, you just use the right analog stick to turn and you just use the left analog stick to go forward. Like you would imagine it would work.
That's what I'd imagine, yeah.
But not, I do think there is a sort of charm to the jank controls, and I'm glad that they're there. And again, I would love it even more if I could, like, quick turning would make it a lot easier to use the jank controls, because that is a feature of the jank controls, but I'm obviously moving around a lot slower. But this is like early games. You can see here, Tony, I have to get as big as like 20 centimeters. Like I'm like, I start off as like the size of an ant almost, right?
Yeah.
What I love about Katamari Damacy is with every level, you start to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Like, you start to have to get bigger and bigger, and you start off, like, bigger, and you get this really, like... Katamari Damacy is really satisfying in, like, a kinesthetic way, where it's, like, you get to see this progression of getting bigger and bigger. Oh, I think you get to see a cutscene here, Tony, so I'll let you watch what I was talking about.
Oh, Godzilla. This is Megazord.
The stars have vanished from the sky! And that's how the story of Katamari Damacy is told. Every time you complete a level, there's these random cutscenes of this Japanese family. And slowly you make the stars go back into the sky.
How here's the stars
here's the simple controls. This is how you control the simple controls. Because you have a jump So you have like a charge and roll. You can charge up to do. I could never get the charge and roll to work properly. The quick turn was bugged for me. I could not get it to work, but I could on the keyboard sometimes and on simplified control sometimes. Like I was going nuts trying to figure this out.
It's still quite small at 14 centimeters. So yeah, you just get bigger and bigger through the campaign.
Yeah. But I was streaming to some friends, and I was saying some of the most outlandish shit, but it made perfect sense in context of this game. I'm turning the soundtrack up because it's sick. Oh, it's got this jazz theme to it now. But it's like, I would say stuff like, is it doggable? Is it doggable? Yeah, I'm big enough. It's doggable. I'm going to eat this dog. And I would just go roll him over, and I'd be like, now I'm as big as the dog. Or, is it I'm not big enough for humans, but I can definitely take a child right now. I will take a child. Like, I can take, you know. But it's hilarious, but it makes, like, perfect sense in the context of the game.
Yeah.
You can see here as I hit the wall, I'm actually losing. Yeah, but I'm constantly looking at different objects and being like, I kind of have a general sense of their relative size, and it's giving me a good idea of like how big they are. But yeah, I'll show you some of the like more late game stuff. So we started off at what was it, 20 centimeters, Tony?
Yeah. That was like...
Oh, this guy is like the king of the sky. He was just says random things. He's like, have you ever been to Russia? Or a lot of this game is just so like weird and nonsensical, but I'm so for it. Like, I love it. But you can see I'm starting off at 50 centimeters, but my goal is to get to 30 meters.
Yeah, that's quite big.
Yeah.
So you start off tiny, well, relatively tiny, I suppose. Are you like a dog toy?
I'm about an apple sized. Oh, I'm slightly bigger than an apple right now.
Yeah.
But it'll tell you like warnings, and it'll be like, oh shit, if you get hit by these will bash you away. I always, okay, tips to new fences, usually fences look too big most of the time for you to pick them up. Fences usually are way smaller than you think, but give you a lot of height. Always try and take fences when you are. Great target, children obviously, as soon as you can get them. Another tip is, sometimes you'll be too big to immediately suck up like a penguin or a dog or something, or a small child. But you can actually hit them and you stun them, and after you stun them, then you can pick them up if you're too small. So you can actually get the height. Okay. So, and then there's a skill that comes in. If you hit somebody and then you stun them and then you go back and pick them up, you'll get height. You can hit somebody and stun them, and then if they get stunned by you, they'll actually run away from you if you don't pick them up in time and then disappear. So it's kind of like, if you hit somebody, you want to commit to trying to get them. I'm not chickenable yet. I gotta get bigger before I can take the chicken. I'm starting to get small child size. I should be able to take chicken soon.
Yeah,
it's looking penguinable soon as well. Almost doggable. Oh, trophies are big here. That's big. Okay, I'm feeling like I'm doggable soon, TM, right? You see here I'm stunning. Look here, I'm stunning the dogs. I stunned him, then I pick him up. Now
you don't need to stun them, right?
Yeah. So if I get big enough, I won't need. But it's because I'm just about big enough. Too small for penguins right now. Tony, you start off like this, and then you get to this, where I'm sucking up buildings and trees. I think that is the real joy of Katamari, is you get to see like the progression of starting out really small and then like, oh, here I am sucking up islands. I don't know, but I think if you see two angels flying above you, that means that you basically as big as you can get on that level. I had that a couple of times.
Oh, okay. Is that like an engine limitation thing, or is that just...
No, I just think there's not enough props for you to get any bigger at that point. Like, I need to get 300 meters here. I am 528 meters at the moment.
I can absolute racket.
Yep. Well, I'm currently... Like, I'm literally... Like, I started off and I was tiny. I'm literally picking up clouds right now because of how big I am. And tsunamis and stuff.
Yeah.
Suck up this tornado. But yeah. I think this is one of the last levels, Katamari Damacy. I played the whole thing. I really liked it. My only complaint was the controls are very confusing for modern players, but there's definitely still a lot to play and enjoy from new players, and I would highly recommend this. I think I gave it like a 4-star on backlog. Let me check actually. I gave it a 3.5 actually. I feel like it might be more towards 4. I probably would have given it more of a 4 if the controls weren't so annoying. Like if they weren't, at least to me, they were bugged, and I would like to see a modern controls, but obviously I understand. Maybe the appeal of the game comes from the jankiness.
Well, maybe when the second game comes out.
There is a Katamari Damacy Reroll Royal Reverie, which I also have now, so I will be playing more Katamari Damacy. But I think it also has the same controls. I don't think they did like a new control scheme.
Okay, alright. So maybe they thought it was good because of the weird controls. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see, because like I got to this point where I had these angels around me, and I was like, oh, I think that's as big as I can get. Oh, Tony, I think I have the credits on here, but I want to show you the credits. Because the credits of this game, you get to try and suck up the entire Earth, one country at a time. It tells you the country you pick up.
That's kind of cool. Okay.
Yeah, that's fucking amazing. I was trying to suck up every country. Like, I love games with interactive credits, like Pac-Man. Pac-Man World had this, where you played Pac-Man. You remember, like Smash Bros, where you would shoot the targets of the producers as you finish the game.
Great. Yeah.
But yeah, I like Katamari Damacy. Tony, I talked about this briefly on the podcast, but I got a capture card for my Switch. So I was playing some games on my Switch that I've been wanting to talk about and have footage of. And F-Zero 99 was one of my favorite multiplayer games that I played last year, and I wanted to play some more F-Zero 99. So here it is. Just a little bit. I think the 90, because obviously I have the Family Pass Switch Online, so I have all the Switch Online stuff. So I was like, oh, I might as well.
Are you still got access to that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still got a whole year of it because my sister plays. She uses it for like, I think she used it for the Animal Crossing DLC. I literally said to her like, oh, if you want to cancel it, you can. And she was like, nah, I want to keep it. I was like, okay. Because the Family Pass for Switch Online is actually really cheap if you use it with multiple people. It's actually a really good deal.
Sort of thing, yeah.
So one of the games I wanted to check out again was F-Zero 99, because my love for F-Zero comes from the soundtrack. Like, I love Mute City and a lot of the other songs from F-Zero. Like, I feel like if you said to most people these days, like, do you know F-Zero, they would say, what the hell is F-Zero? I feel like it's one of the more forgotten franchises from Nintendo, or that sort of era.
Sure.
And I feel like probably the most recognizable character from the F-Zero series is not from F-Zero, but is because he's in Smash Bros, and that would be Captain Falcon.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Falcon Punch.
Falcon Punch! But yeah, he is a racer in F-Zero, but he's more well known from being in Smash Brothers and being the Falcon Punch guy, I would say.
100%.
But you get to see how shit I am at F-Zero 99 now.
Well, I like how you are living up to the name and Silent 99.
Yeah. I feel like they didn't have to put this much effort into like a quick and easy like battle royale F-Zero game, but it feels like there's just a certain polish when it comes to Nintendo stuff. Like, not a lot of people know like a lot of Nintendo, because people look at Nintendo as like an entity, right? It's like, oh, they're one, but they're actually a bunch of different studios, and a lot of stuff that you play that you go, oh, that's a Nintendo game. It's actually, they use a lot of third-party studios, but they just have some sort of relationship with third-party studios, or they're like, they polish it to a certain extent where you don't necessarily know that it's been like a third-party studio's worked on it. Like off the top of my head, like
polish process,
like Super Metroid, Metroid Prime Remastered is made by who's it made by again? It's How Lab does the Kirby stuff, or Retro Studios does like Metroid Prime, or like for example the new Donkey Kong HD game that's coming out, that's being done by a third-party studio. Luigi's Mansion 3 was done by a completely third-party studio. It's not actually made by like Nintendo themselves, but like there is this certain like charm with Nintendo stuff where even when it's not directly made by in-house Nintendo, they have a certain level of like oversight or polish to the project where it's just something that's genuinely really cool and fun.
Yeah. I guess the Nintendo process still exists, I suppose.
Yeah, I got a capture card because I was like, I like to emulate a lot of Switch stuff because I like cranking up the resolution and the frame rate sometimes when they do like 30 bit. Because like, what was I watching? I was watching a Digital Foundry video and they were like, Zelda Link's Awakening. It's like, it's such a beautiful game, but it has such performance issues. And I was like, oh, I had no idea because I emulated on my PC and it ran completely fine and looks amazing at 4K. So
yeah.
But yeah, F-Zero 99. I think I would really like to see an F-Zero, a new F-Zero game with less people. Like I was fun, like as fun as Battle Royale Chaos can be. I would actually prefer like I was getting a lot of slowdown on my Switch while playing through this. Maybe there's just too many people on the screen.
Is it
bit chaotic?
Is it a networking issue maybe? I don't know.
I was playing on Wi-Fi, but I'm playing on a Wi-Fi 6 router. Like I play all of my multiplayer games on Wi-Fi, and I don't have an issue with it. So
I don't know. It's weird.
Because I have the Switch OLED dock, which has an Ethernet port, but I would just be plugging the Ethernet port into my wireless mesh router, which is next to it, which is pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. So the way F-Zero 99 works is you have like a boost bar and like a health bar, and then you pick it up, and then you can get like this golden road power up where you essentially, once you connect enough of the golden pellet things, you can ascend up here. Basically like as a catch-up mechanic for people who are further behind. And the way it works is
pick up and I suppose.
If you take down, so if you hit cars, you hit the side, you take damage, but your damage is also your boost in this game. So you kind of want to, you want to like get a good mix between being fast enough to keep in the race, but also have enough health to keep going. Because once you are out of health, then you're knocked out of the race, which makes it pretty interesting. Yeah, I like F-Zero 99. This is a game I wanted to revisit since I got my my capture card. I think with the capture card, I'm just gonna whenever I get a Switch game, then I need to like specifically play. Like, I kind of want to get a. Like, I'm thinking about going on eBay and getting like a secondhand copy of like Super Mario Maker 2 for the Switch, because I wanted to. I always want to play Mario Maker, but that's not a game you can really emulate that well because it kind of needs like an online connection. So stuff like specifically that has an online thing, like obviously stuff like F-Zero 99, Tetris 99, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That does make me want to get on. Or like, I am waiting for like a Switch 2 where I won't be able to emulate probably. So then I'll be able to use my capture card, because I'm not somebody who likes to play the Switch like docked on a TV. Like, I would much prefer to play it on my computer while I'm sitting on Discord, and that's something like a Elgato capture card lets me do. But yeah, that's one of the games I played. I also played Metroid Zero Mission because I wanted to check out the Game Boy Advance emulator got on there. The Switch emulators are actually really good. I think the emulators that the Switch has put out so far have been pretty good. Aside from like the Nintendo 64 emulators, which, I mean, GoldenEye on the Switch is like not great in terms of like a lot of stuff it has. Like it has like slowdown and drops, and yeah, it's
right.
Like the 64 emulator's a bit, but like the Game Boy stuff is really good. Like the SNES stuff is really good. Like that stuff runs on toasters. Like,
yeah, you did that to be good.
The stuff I like about the Switch emulator is it's really easy to use. So you just basically go and you download the Game Boy emulator. So here I'm downloading the Game Boy Advance emulator, and then you basically load up the game you want to play, and then you have this suspend menu. So what you can do with the suspend menu is you can make manual saves, or you can even like rewind time at any point. It's basic emulator stuff that you would be able to do in an emulator. But as you can see here, I'm just going to rewind and be like, no, I didn't die. But it is like basic stuff, but with how easy and like user-friendly it is with the Switch version, it makes it really great to use. Like,
yeah,
you could do this in an emulator, but in some of them, like, it would be a bit more you'd have to make like manual save states, and you wouldn't be able to have this like quick rewind feature. It just wouldn't be as seamless as it is in the Switch version. I've been wanting to play the original Super Metroid for a long time, but because I played my first Metroid game last year, I played Metroid Prime, my first 3D Metroid game, and I played before that Metroid Dread on the Switch, my first 2D Metroid game, or 2.5D, if you want to look at it. And I fucking loved Metroid Dread. I think I really love 2D Metroid games. So I wanted to play some more 2D ones. And I know that the original Super Metroid doesn't have a map, but there's a Game Boy Advance version called Super Metroid Zero Mission, and it's basically a remaster for the Game Boy Advance, but with a map. And that's why I wanted to play the Game Boy Advance version.
Right.
But yeah, I sat down and I was playing this because I wanted to test it out and record some footage. And I ended up playing Metroid for a long time, and I was like, oh, I can't. If I'm gonna play Metroid, I have to commit to it. Because I talked about this in the past, Metroidvania games are, you don't want to start and stop play them. You want to like sit down and play them. And I think I was planning on playing Final Fantasy, and I'm like, I can't be playing a Metroid game in the middle of playing Final Fantasy. So I'm like, I'm going to play Final Fantasy, and then I'm going to come back and play some of these like Switch games that I've been playing. But yeah. My quick thoughts on Metroid Zero Mission on the Game Boy Advance. It's really fucking good. It's essentially like a 2D Metroidvania game. It holds up to time, and the Switch emulator is really good as well, in my opinion. Great music, good gameplay.
Yeah, I really like the music.
Oh, Tony, so I could download something called Pac-Man 99, which is like the Battle Royale version of Pac-Man. And I was like, oh, I've been playing a ton of Pac-Man. Why don't I try and play the 99 Pac-Man? And in the back of my mind, I was like, wait a minute. Wasn't the Pac-Man 99 thing shut down so you can't play it anymore? I was like, wasn't that the case? And Tony, that is exactly what the case is, because if you download Pac-Man 99 and you try and play a game, it'll let you download it, but then it'll say, sorry, the service no longer exists. Online services ended. Thank you for your interest. I was like, why would you let me download this if I can't even play it anymore? It sucks. I guess you can... There's a single-player stuff you can buy from the eShop, but I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to play some 99-player Pac-Man. That sounded amazing, but it just doesn't exist anymore.
It seems weird. Like, I get they run it on their servers, but why not have like a hosting mode sort of thing? Like at least have that as an option would be nice.
So Tony, I was like, okay, fuck this. I'll play Tetris 99. And you remember how I said I accidentally started playing Pac-Man, and I was like, I don't really get Pac-Man, but I'll give it a go. And then I was like, I kind of love Pac-Man now. I started playing Tetris 99 as someone who's like, I would say I'm pretty bad at Tetris, and I don't really get Tetris before I play this.
Yeah, you haven't really played it properly.
No. I'm fucking addicted to Tetris 99. This, for some reason... playing single-player Tetris, I'm like, I don't really care that much. But there's something about the multiplayer Battle Royale aspect of it that makes it really addictive. And I really enjoy Tetris 99. It was so funny because I was streaming this to you on Discord, and you were immediately like, oh, you're playing so poorly, this makes me want to play Tetris.
I didn't say quite like that. I'm just like, those underplays I would want to play, makes me want to play it.
Yeah. Essentially, the game works. 99 people are playing Tetris all at once.
Yeah.
And when you clear lines, it sends it to another person. And the way that you can control your lines where they're sent, so you can either send them to a random person, you can send them to whoever's attacking you, so you can send your lines back at your attackers, or there's like...
anti-bully.
There's another one called badges, which I didn't understand. Like, I think you can send them based on the badge they have, but I was like, that sounds kind of random.
I guess it's like based on skill. Like if someone with a lot of badges, they must be quite skilled.
And then there's KOs as well. So I guess you can target the guy with the most knockouts in order to try and target the best player, I guess.
Yeah. I think that's bully mode though, isn't it? Or is that anti... I don't know, is it reverse bully mode?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, when you first started playing, you weren't using the hold feature, which also really annoyed me.
Yeah.
And the other person watching.
I didn't understand what the button for hold was, so I was like, maybe I should just learn to play. My thinking was, if I learn to play Tetris without holding, I will learn so much more about like random strategies you wouldn't do if you had hold. Sure. It's like a super OP strategy. Like in terms of like, I play Rocket League, but I don't play with ball cam. I like to play with no. Yeah, sometimes I have no idea where the ball is. That's different, I think. But I play. Yeah. But I almost have like a sixth sense at this point where I kind of have a vague idea of where the ball would be. I threw there accidentally. Sure. Cut the tape. Cut the tape. That was an accident. I went. You obviously saw I was meant to go down there.
Yeah, that's just the best play.
Every time I played, like I would die very quickly, but I'd be like, okay, one more. It's one of those things where it's like, load up another lobby. I'm ready for more Tetris. It's so fun to just slam Tetris 99 games over and over again.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. But I think the holding feature is a bit different than ball, like their ball awareness.
Hang on, I think I have footage of me using the hold feature. We'll skip to that.
Okay. I think the hold is integral. It completely changed.
Because I came back and I played more, and I'm like, I've learnt how to use the hold button. I'm ready to go again.
Yeah.
There was even a team mode as well that I tried.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Which is cool. I love that this just exists as a free thing for Switch Online, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And it seems like people still play it to this day. Like I was getting lots of lobbies.
I want to say free included with Switch Online.
Included with Switch Online. But like, can you name a console that doesn't have a subscription-based multiplayer service? Like you need PSN to play online. You need Xbox Live Gold to play online.
Yeah. That's it's nice that you get other features for sure.
You get cloud saves. You get to play free online games, and you get emulators, which is nice.
Yeah.
And they're all pretty good. It would be nice if you got like emulators and like obviously I would love cloud saves without having to pay for online, but
Well, I think emulating as well.
Nintendo is what it is, you know.
I probably emulating should be like you pay once for it and then you just have it, not like you have to be subscribed. So that'd be my criticism. But
my thought is like you kind of want to purposely not make lines with Tetris, and then you want to send a bunch at once in order to like try and KO. Like specifically for, do you score more points when you when you clear more lines at once? It's definitely better for Tetris 99 to like sort of hold lines.
Well, like, especially when somebody gets
specifically because of the fact you send a certain amount of lines based on how many you clear. It's a lot better to send more at once to sort of like take people by surprise.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely different strategies there in the Battle Royale mode.
My thought after playing Tetris 9, I almost bought Tetris Effect in the set. Like I want to play more Tetris now, but I definitely love Tetris 99 specifically. I wonder if I will love like more single player Tetris, which made me curious to try like something like Tetris Effect, which is like a Tetris game on PC.
Yeah, I think for me personally, I quite like the I think having different game mode or different modes and things to change it up is for sure.
I would say my
stagnant.
Sort of my first exposure to Tetris was Tricky Towers, which is Tetris with physics as like a party co-op game, and again that's multiplayer Tetris. Like it makes it a lot more interesting and fun.
Yeah, for sure. But I just like I kind of I like about Tetris like you get in the zone, like we listen to the music and you just like start trying like think you get faster and faster. You like try and like make lines. I just really enjoyed that.
Oh, so here's team battle.
The game loop, I suppose.
So you select a team, so you can be fire, electric, earth, or water.
Okay, I guess like elements. Yeah.
Oh, yellow team's fucked. They ain't got nobody, boy.
Wait, why?
Because everyone gets to select a team. So it's just like, well, there's only 4 people who chose electricity. Fuck them, dude.
The Fire Nation always wins. What the hell? Nice. Earth Nation's got its massive strength.
Earth Nation is pretty strong. Water Nation doesn't look too bad. I chose the Fire Nation, you know. But this gives you more of like a dedicated thing to attack. It's like, well, these are my teammates, so I'm going to attack the other team. But yeah, I've definitely been playing more Switch with the capture card because that's more how, like, I can stream it on Discord or I can capture footage for the podcast, which I've been enjoying.
More sociable, I suppose.
But yeah, I like to be able to play it when I'm talking to my friends, because that's how I play a lot of the games now. Is that I don't even single player games. I'll play them while I'm talking to my friends, which is cool.
Okay. Beat up.
But that's Tetris 99.
I do really like the music. I really like the music.
Tetris 99 is lit. Let's go on to... Oh, I played the demo for Princess Peach Showtime, so I can talk about it briefly. Okay. My initial thoughts was, damn, does the Switch look bad when you're not emulating it? That's actually my first thought was, damn, I wish, going from playing like games in like 4K 60 on my PC has spoiled me for like going back and playing more like original games on the Switch sort of thing. Because I was like, oh, download the demo and see if I like enjoy the game. But like, even like playing it on like the shitty Bluetooth, because I don't have like a pro controller for my Switch, so I have like I have the basic Joy-Con controller. I'm playing it over Bluetooth, and I'm just like, I know if I load this up with an emulator from a Brazilian company, a Brazilian emulator, I could be getting a much better experience. And then I did, and I was like, yep, this is way better. So yeah. But I think Princess Peach Showtime is a game I'm going to play once I'm finished with Final Fantasy, because obviously I've committed to playing a long JRPG on my Japanese adventure through this year. And my initial thought is like, I'm ready to play some smaller games, and Princess Peach feels like a lighter, smaller game. I think Nintendo has been a bit light on exclusives this year. It's been like your Princess Peach Showtime. They did like a remaster of the Game Boy Donkey Kong versus Mario, get like the puzzle game. They are doing like Donkey Kong Country remaster. Luigi's Mansion 2 remaster just came out, so like it feels like they are kind of winding down the game production as the Super Switch or the Switch 2 is coming out, which I'm excited for.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about like maybe trying to get a Switch 2 on release. I think I would enjoy that. Like I'm really been getting more into my handhelds because you've got the Steam Deck OLED now, don't you? So you've been more in the handheld thing.
I've been dabbling.
Let me ask you a question. Does obviously you're using a handheld PC, but are you ever interested in getting something like a Switch or the Switch 2?
No.
Okay, it just doesn't appeal to you.
I have no interest. No.
Because I'm massively
something unique
into
about this, how the Switch, Steam Deck works. Just really
like if Nintendo was to release their games on Steam, obviously immediately I'm like, I don't care about the Switch anymore. But the fact that the Switch is this portal to Nintendo games means I just always have to be interested in it because I just adore Nintendo games. There's something about them.
Yeah, I really appreciate Nintendo stuff, but I don't. I can wait. Like I've been ages since I've actually played Nintendo games. To be honest, so maybe that's like that.
And what are you waiting for?
Tints my.
Because it's not like they're coming to PC.
Oh, just emulation.
Oh, okay. Because you can emulate like the Nintendo stuff now.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess in terms of I don't know, I've got other stuff I can play. It's not like calling to me in the same way, but I do appreciate it. It's been ages since I've played like a Nintendo-like game, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe I will at some point. Maybe just start emulating on the Steam Deck, and I'll get used to. I'll then play one and go. I can go.
Well, you said you were thinking about emulating the PS3 because you wanted to play the
on
Ratchet
PC,
and Clank
obviously.
HD collection. I was like, you can't do that on a Steam Deck. You don't have enough juice for it. But the PS2 emulator definitely on a Steam Deck, but on your PC, sure. You have a fairly powerful PC for emulation.
I think my idea is just like I want to play like the PS3 version because I want to eventually then start playing the I guess the PS3 Ratchet and Clank trilogy. If you discount the other games I don't care about, there's only 3 Ratchet and Clank games I want to play.
Well, you could also play like Deadlocked on the PS2 emulator.
Yeah, that's true. There's a secret... Wait, what's it? What's it for? A quadrology? A quadrology? What's it called?
There's also like Size Matters and Secret Agent Clank on the PSP as well, which are quite good. Like I've played Size Mattered on. Like I had a PSP back in the day, and I played Size Matters.
I think Size Matters and Secret Agent Clank are the ones I want. I think there's a couple of other ones, isn't there? Like I feel like I've
loaded up Princess Peach, and we're talking about emulation because I'm like, this is one of those games where I'm like, I think this game's really cool, but I would rather emulate it. Like that's honestly how I feel.
Well, I think from looking on the screen at the moment, you were at the start just like walking around doing like the intro stuff, which isn't very interesting.
Well, so the basics of this game is it's sort of like a bunch of different mini game adventure sort of things built up. So you start off and then you go into like Sword Fighter Peach, and then it's sort of like more of an action thing. I'll skip towards it.
Right.
So this one you're like using your ribbon to get trees, and then you're like in a sword fighting section where you have to like parry stuff, and then it goes into you like fight a boss basically, but then there's like another section where you're baking cakes, and it's like a mini game where you need to bake cakes, and then there's like Detective Peach. The thing I find about this cool is this cool about this game is it's basically like you get a bunch of. It feels like more of an experimental Nintendo game where they go, oh, let's do a bunch of different gameplay and see what sticks.
Yeah. But not then hang around for too long where you can get annoyed with it. Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna I'm gonna play some smaller games once I finish Final Fantasy. I think this will be one of them. I'll be playing. I liked the demo. I thought it was pretty fun. It's not like a game where I'm like, it's not like a game where I'm like, I need to play this. This Princess Peach game is like insane, but it's just like it feels like a pretty decent game, like a light-hearted, fun game. So I'll definitely check it out. I think I liked the demo.
Yeah, some cool ideas, I think, for sure.
Let's move on to the final game I played on my Switch, which was, again, HAL Laboratories. I really liked Kirby Forgotten World, Forgotten Land. I can't remember what it's called. Forgotten World, Kirby, Forgotten Land. That's what it's called. I really like that game. I thought that game was really cool. So I wanted to look into more Kirby stuff because Kirby's Forgotten Land was like the first actual like more open 3D platformer. A lot of Kirby stuff is 2D. Like as a child, I have nostalgia for Kirby because I played Kirby's Dream Land on my Game Boy. Like it's one of the first games I played, and I really loved that. Like, so I've always had a soft spot for Kirby, but Tony, there's a free Kirby game on the Nintendo eShop that is essentially a gacha Kirby game.
Yeah, I couldn't believe this existed.
Yes.
How did this happen?
I don't know. It's called Super Kirby Clash. And kind of the main gameplay of this is it's essentially a boss rush fight.
Right.
So you choose like a class, and then it's basically like you can do like your floating attacks, and then you basically just have to fight a monster with your teammates. But it's like a lot of stuff is like time gated. So it's very much like, oh, you don't have enough energy to do this today, and I'm like, is this a fucking gacha Kirby game? Like I didn't even know this thing existed until I just saw it and was like, what the hell is this? I'm gonna play it because it's free on the eShop. The gameplay's not bad, but it's not something I could see. Like it's not amazing either. It's not something I would grind out, sort of thing. And it's not something I'd want to spend money on either.
Yeah, but wait, yeah. What do you spend money on?
I think maybe time skips or like you can definitely buy like currency for the game to unlock stuff maybe quicker or something. So basically you fight a boss and then there's also like a co-op element to it. I was like, because I went multiplayer and I joined the online stuff and I was playing with random people and I was like, yeah, this does feel more fun like playing with like random people online. Because you can pick up items and feed them to your teammates when they need health, or you get these tablet things together, and it's like an ultimate smash move sort of thing.
Right.
And a lot of the bosses are like familiar Kirby enemies from the games. I think it's cool that it exists, but I think it's just not really that interesting to me personally.
Right.
Like it's a game
it doesn't look interesting to me either.
Like it's a game you could play free to play, but I was like, I kind of just rather play like games that are worth playing, sort of thing. Like in terms of I get more out of my time in them, you know.
I guess from the point of view, if you're like a kid on the Switch, like it's kind of like a nice thing.
Yeah, as long as you're not like I need to buy gem apples for my Super Kirby Clash game.
It makes me feel bad that it has the pay thing, especially if it's like aimed at kids, because it's like, oh,
well, it's a free to play game, so they had to charge for something, right?
But isn't it included into the online stuff? Though I just feel like you don't have an excuse once it's attached to something else.
It's not like if you have Nintendo Switch Online, this is a feature ad from Nintendo. That's like the emulator stuff and the 99 stuff. That is like that. But this is this is just how Laboratories made a game and it has multiplayer, so you need multiplayer to play it, sort of thing.
Right, okay. I don't know. I think it made more sense if it was added. I don't know. May just make it a cheap game. That's also an option. I think that gets forgotten when it comes to like gacha games. Oh, but it has to. And it's like, yeah, but it could have been £5. I'm just putting that out there. Cheap games can exist.
Yeah, obviously you could very easily play this free to play, but I'm like, it's kind of not what I'm looking for from a Kirby game anyway. So
yeah.
I'd rather just play something else.
I think
Yeah,
that's
Tony.
what to me distinguishes Nintendo stuff is like the polished paid stuff. So
So you can't, because you can get teammates as like random CPUs, but then you can also, I was like, oh, I'll queue up online to
actually,
see
kind of
like,
yeah.
because then I have like, I'm playing with like some Japanese dude and then like some random person's mum and stuff like that, you know? I swear there was like a teammate, it was like mum or something, and I was like, oh, this is somebody's mum. Like I remember fighting this ice guy in Forgotten Land, like it's
Yeah.
pretty cool that you have some of the like recurring characters. And you can like charge up these super attacks. Like I think you can see like more fun in the game where you can see like the more advanced players or like the appeal of playing it more like as an online co-op thing.
Mm.
Like we're trying to help out each other and heal each other up and stuff. I was having a lot of fun, and we're about to kill the boss, and then the guy who was hosting the lobby disconnected, and it kicked all of us out, and I was like, oh, classic Switch Online.
It's just the way it works.
That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Yeah, Tony, that's my Japanese run. I've been playing Katamari Damacy, which I recommend as long as you can get used to the controls, and a bunch of Switch stuff that I middlingly recommend. I highly recommend Tetris 99,
Yes.
Metroid Zero Mission, F-Zero 99, and Princess Peach. And then I cannot recommend Pac-Man 99 because it doesn't exist. And
No.
Super Kirby Clash is not for me, personally.
Yeah. To play a real Kirby game.
Yep. But yeah, that's the end of the Tangerine. Goodbye.
Bye.